Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for coming to the City of Rockville as we recognize two of our outstanding residents, advocates, legislators, representatives. It never gets easier for me standing up here, and if you hear my voice shaking, you're just lucky you don't see my legs shaking. I don't know what's going on after 14 years. You'd think I'd be used to it, but I'm not. It's really something that I have believed in since I moved to Rockville in 1981. Together we can do great things, and we have amazing people in the City of Rockville who step up and represent us in the most amazing ways. And the first person we want to recognize this evening is former delegate, former chair, and now Commissioner Kumar Barve. If you'll come up, please. I've known Kumar for a long time, and while we will miss very much your leadership and chairmanship on the ENT in the General Assembly, it will be a privilege to have an advocate on the Maryland Public Service Commission. So thank you very much for continuing to serve the people of Rockville, the people of Maryland now. We have several things for Commissioner Barve. The first is a key to the city.
Woo. Wow, thank you.
In recognition of your 32 years of service to the city as a delegate, you may have a key to the city.
Oh my. I wonder what this really opens.
I'm not sure it opens much. And our budget was very tough, so don't try getting anything out of that.
I can't melt it down.
I want to read the proclamation from, well, I guess I could have the council members come because you're going to have to make the motion and second it, so please join me. Whereas the Honorable Kumar P. Barve served in the Maryland House of Delegates for 32 years, from January 1991 to May 2023. Whereas Delegate Barve has been an outstanding advocate for the City of Rockville and our residents. Whereas Delegate Barve served as a distinguished General Assembly leader, including as the chair of the House Environment and Transportation Committee from 2015 to 2018. Whereas Delegate Barve has been very accessible and highly engaged with the Mayor and Council and Rockville City staff. Whereas Delegate Barve has always been supportive of Rockville's legislative priorities and dedicated to protecting the interests of the Rockville community, especially when it comes to the environment.
Right.
Whereas Delegate Barve has been instrumental in garnering funding for multiple City of Rockville legislative bond initiative projects, including the Rockville Swim and Fitness Center, Senior Center, Lincoln Park Community Center, Twin Brook Community Center, and other projects over the years. And whereas Delegate Barve played a major role in getting the Climate Solutions Act now of 2022 enacted, which is a significant accomplishment to help move Maryland forward in addressing climate change. Whereas Delegate Barve's work style has been collaborative, proactive, and engaging, I would say very accessible. Whereas Delegate Barve has received many awards and accolades, including Legislator of the Year from the Montgomery County Medical Society, 1995, 96, and 2000, Maryland Superstar, Maryland Municipal League, 2008, and Certificate of Appreciation in 2007, 10, and 11. Now, therefore, the Mayor and Council of the City of Rockville, Maryland, do hereby proclaim June 12th, 2023, a day to honor the great works of Delegate Kumar Barve and thank him, you, for all your unwavering support to the Rockville community and wish you well in all your future endeavors.
Oh, thank you.
I have to make the motion. The proclamation has been moved.
I'll second.
And seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand. It is unanimous. Of course it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to give this to you. Well, we want to get a picture, right?
Yes. I'll tell you what. Why don't we do both of
Perfect.
these? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
All right.
I've learned a thing or two over the years.
Only a thing or two.
Thank you.
I mean, this is great. It hides my gut and everything. Thank you. Yeah, I would. As a matter of fact, it's been a real pleasure to represent the people of Rockville for these many years. I still have a very clear recollection of knocking on doors in one of the hottest summers. Compared to nowadays, I suppose not so hot, but in 1990 it was a pretty hot summer, and I realized then that there were a few things that I wanted more than to represent the people of Rockville, and of course Gaithersburg, and at that time Garrett Park as well, and the people of Maryland just generally. And so there are many people I have to thank here. And first and foremost, I want to thank Cheryl Kagan, who was one of my first supporters and a very valuable ally to me, especially in that first race. I won't go into all the details because who needs to bore people. There's Jim Gilchrist, who I've served with for many, many years and was a subcommittee chairman in my Environment and Transportation Committee. There's Julie Polakovich-Carr, who always does a fantastic job, not just for the people of Rockville, but for the people of the entire state and of Gaithersburg as well. I want to mention the late Delegate Mike Gordon, who you all knew. And I will just leave it at that. And of course, Jenny Forehand, who did a spectacular job both mentoring me and also representing our district. I would be remiss if I did not recognize the presence of the Chief of Staff of the Environment and Transportation Committee, Trish Gagnon, who drove here from Annapolis. Thank you so much. And I understand you're going to continue to be the best Chief of Staff in Annapolis under the leadership of Mark Corman. So I'll just leave you with this one thought. I suppose it is a cliche in American politics, but it's no less true for being a cliche that there's nothing we can't do if we don't work together. Some prominent American politicians have been saying that a lot lately in the White House, but it's true, and we didn't always agree on everything, but we were able to accomplish together some nearly impossible things, like getting more money from the Highway User Revenue Fund and some other cute little tax reforms that allowed Gaithersburg and Rockville uniquely and one other place to get more hotel tax revenues for so that the people of our jurisdiction wouldn't have to pay for those amenities. So again, thank you so much. It is bittersweet leaving, but I am always at your beck and call with respect to the Public Service Commission. I know that occasionally utilities may not treat you or your constituents fairly, and I want you to call me first. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to take a minute to welcome all the dignitaries in the office today, in the chambers today. I'll begin with Senator Kagan. Joining Senator Kagan from the delegation is Delegate Julie Polakovich-Carr, now chair of the Montgomery County delegation. Former Delegate Jim Gilchrist. Then I'm going to go to council members Beryl Feinberg, Monique Ashton, Mark Brashela, and David Miles. Council Mayor Cindy Katz. Yep, and Council Member Kate Stewart. Board of Ed member Julie Yang. Did I miss any elected?
What about the mayor?
Former Mayor Susan Hoffman. Making sure I hit all the Mayor of the Town Center, Jenny Stepanek. All right, and now it gives me enormous pleasure to recognize Ken Reichard. Ken has been a personal friend to Fred and myself for many, many years. I am unfortunately not a member of the cool people who live on Monument Street, where we have two former mayors and Ken Reichard. But I'm one block away, and he always greets me with hello neighbor, which is just really nice because that's what we are in the city. We are a small town in a big city. So Ken, if you'll come up. Ken has been an assistant to Senator Cardin for many, many years. In fact, I don't quite know how many years. 17 and a half. Longer than I've been on this council, but I know that when I joined the council in 2009 and Mayor Marcuccio invited me to travel with her to DC to visit our representatives on the Hill, Ken was always part of the meeting, and he's always been there for Rockville. He has been a voice in the senator's ether about certain things that we've really wanted and tried to get. So I want to thank you for all of your advocacy and support for the city. It's been very wonderful. So thank you for that. And I know Kevin Mack has something from the senator that he's going to read.
I am actually the new Ken Reichard, his replacement. Microphone.
Oh, microphone, I'm sorry. He actually told me that his hair was my color when he started 17 and a half years ago. So, so I only have 17 months, so hopefully I'll be okay. The senator wishes he could be here tonight, but unfortunately Senate business has kept him down in D.C. But he did place something in the congressional record honoring Ken Reichard, and I'd like to read the last paragraph from the senator's remark in the congressional record. There are few Marylanders and even fewer Montgomery County residents who have not benefited in one way or another from Ken's lifelong service to others. Ken has lived up to Douglas Adams' maxim, to give real service you must add something which cannot be bought or measured with money, and that is sincerity and integrity. I want to thank Ken's family for sharing him with the people of Montgomery County and all Marylanders. Above all, I want to thank Ken himself for his wise counsel and friendship over the years. While he no longer works for me in official capacity, I will continue to rely on him unofficially in the weeks and months ahead, while hoping that he spends more time with his family and with his friends and enjoy recreational pursuits. So Ken, on behalf of Senator Cardin, I'd like to present to you this official congressional record on your years of service for Montgomery County. And I also have certificates for your niece, your granddaughter, Sydney, and the rest of your family as well. Okay?
We kind of this way.
Sure. Mayor,
Yep, you're good. I'm just gonna push this down again, just so we get a nice photo.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to recognize Councilmember Andrew Friedson, who's joined us. Thank you very much. And now I will read a proclamation from the Mayor and Council of the City of Rockville. Whereas Mr. Ken Reichard has been a faithful public servant within the state of Maryland for more than 35 years. Whereas Mr. Reichard served on the Maryland Governor William Donald Schaefer's task force on spectrum housing for economic growth, and also Governor Schaefer's Workforce Investment Board, and was a member of Maryland Governor Paris Glendenning's administration as Assistant Secretary and Director of Labor, Licensing, and Regulation. Whereas Mr. Reichard served as the assistant to Senator Ben Cardin for 17 years and attended many events in the city of Rockville and other localities in representation of Senator Cardin, where he presented commendations and made speeches when the senator was not available. Whereas Mr. Reichard was an outstanding liaison and strengthened the city's relationship between the Rockville Mayor and Council and staff to Senator Cardin. Whereas Mr. Reichard was instrumental in securing federal funding for Rockville public infrastructure projects, whereas Mr. Reichard has been a lifelong resident of the city of Rockville, Maryland, served on local boards and committees, including the Montgomery County Housing Opportunities Commission. Whereas Mr. Reichard has received many awards and accolades from the administrations of County Executives Kramer and Duncan, and while serving with Governor Glendenning in his community. Now, therefore, the Mayor and Council of the City of Rockville, Maryland, do hereby proclaim June 12, 2023, as a day to honor the great works of Mr. Ken Reichard and thank him, for all his unwavering support to the Rockville community, and wish you well in all your future endeavors. Councilmember Pershela.
I move the proclamation.
Councilmember Miles, I saw his hand first, sorry. Councilmember Miles?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand. It is unanimous.
Thank you.
Let's get a photo. Are we good?
Everyone's visible, I promise. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. We also want to give Ken Reichard a key to the city.
Oh, thank you. Kumar, I know where the safe is.
Put money in it.
Can I say a few words?
Yes, just let's get one photo and then
Can I
we
get you guys a sister?
All right, here we go.
There we go.
Great.
Oh, better name here, just a little while.
I like to hide.
Thank you.
Please.
Well, first off, I'd like to thank the city of Rockville for doing this. I didn't anticipate that they would do anything near what has happened here tonight. And
I'm glad to be able to share this with you, Kumar, because we've known each other for 30-some years. We both had dark hair. But living in Rockville and helping Rockville behind the scenes, I've always been the behind the scenes type of individual, and that's where I do my best work. The senator and I have had a great relationship for a very long time. Even before he was a senator, I worked with him when I was a lobbyist in Annapolis and he was Speaker of the House. A lot of people don't realize, but he's been an elected official for over 50 years. That's quite a long time. But the city has been very good to me. The mayor always took care of getting rid of the outhouses when they were across the street in the park and things like that for me when I would call her about it. But anyhow, the city's always been a very good partner as far as I'm concerned, and I'm always happy to do whatever I can to help them out. My basic function was to make sure that their needs were looked at and make sure the letters got sent and sent to the right departments. It got sent out on a timely fashion. It just sort of gave me pride to be able to do that behind the scenes to make sure the city was taken care of as much as it was. But thank you for coming. I appreciate everybody being here. It's a very emotional time. I'm going to enjoy my granddaughter, who is just getting ready to go off to college. She's been a soccer player and an ice hockey player for many years, and I've had the pleasure of watching her play quite a bit. So I'm going to really enjoy going out to see her play when she goes to Miami, Ohio.
Yay!
With that, thank you. Thank you again for coming. Appreciate it.
Miami of Ohio, different than Miami of Florida, has great hockey. Our son and daughter went to Miami of Ohio, so you're in good stead. And I want to recognize Councilmember Gabe Albarnez, who's joined us too. So thank you all. I really want to say a heartfelt thank you to all of you for coming on a rainy Monday night, and I think it speaks volumes about our two people this evening that we've honored, our two honorees, and the importance and respect that we all have for them and what they've done for our community. So thank you both. Appreciate it. Now, we do have 9 minutes left. If anyone feels so inclined, we can take a couple minutes for anyone else to say something if they so choose. Okay, we'll end right here on, oh, I see another, please come forward. You have to say it all again when you get up here.
Hi, Diana Eisenstadt here on behalf of Senator Van Hollen, who couldn't get out of town. But he would join me, I know, in the at least twice honorable Kumar Barve, in recognition of his 32 years of outstanding leadership and service in the Maryland House of Delegates, with appreciation for your tireless advocacy on behalf of the residents of District 17 and Montgomery County, and with best wishes on your role as Maryland Public Service Commissioner. Congratulations, Commissioner.
Can't sign it any bigger than that.
And to Ken, who I know the senator would love to shake your hand next time he sees you in the hallway. We're also very fond of the work that you've done. But in recognition from the senator himself, from your decades of dedicated public service to the state of Maryland and the United States Senate, with appreciation for all that you've done as part of the labor movement and for the residents of Montgomery County and Maryland, and with best wishes for an enjoyable and fulfilling retirement.
And I apologize for missing that. And Joan, I see you as well. I apologize. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Did I miss anybody else? Okay, all right. Thank you all very much.